Hey, you guys, so I'm here with a message. Well, not really a message, but more like my testimony. Um, God has been urging me to speak my testimony, and I've been putting it off. So, here it is. So, first, I want to talk about how the Lord delivered me from my alcohol addiction. All of my life, I've been drinking alcohol. I've been drinking alcohol since I've been 14 years old. I used to stand in front of the stores and have my little money and, you know, waiting for the right looking adult, toxic adult to come by so I could pay them so they can give me my alcohol. And it worked every time. So I've been drinking since I've been 14 years old, and I am already 1 year and 8 months clean and sober from alcohol. And the Lord gets all the glory for that. Now, I'm going to talk about why I was drinking like that so much all the time. So, before then, coming up as a child, um, I was sexually assaulted as a child, a very young child, more than one time. And it took a whole lot for me to finally tell my story. And all my life, I've been suppressing that part of me. I have been hiding that part of me, always feeling ashamed and never wanted anybody to know what happened to me when I was a kid. And now that I'm strong enough and old enough to understand what was going on with the adults, I'm sorry. Now that I'm old enough and strong enough to understand the toxic mindsets of the adults that did these things to me, I could forgive the past. I could forgive the trauma that these people have brought onto me, you know? And I don't know how these demonic energies were able to target me or single me out or attack me. The only thing that I could think of is that maybe, through the sins of the father, the sins of the mother, maybe. If something happened to me when I was a baby, I don't remember. If something happened to me when I was younger than that, I don't know. All I know is that when I was a little girl, I saw like my parents like doing what they was doing, and it was completely by accident because I was getting up to go pee, and I remember this vividly. And I remember looking for my mom because it was dark and I was scared, and I walked in on them, and I just kind of stood there in shock, like, what's happening right now? I remember I felt completely uncomfortable, and my mom got up real quick and slammed the door. Like, there was no tugging me back into bed or saying, oh, sweetheart, it's okay explaining to a child that it's totally natural for the mother and the father to be, you know, loving one another. Um, however, you would explain that situation to children. So I was left. I was left sitting with this demonic attachment that had entered into me through this perverse way of thinking. You know, I know now that I'm aware of the enemy that I was battling, which was the spirit of Asmodeus. He's a lust demon, a perversion demon, you know. Um, from a very young age, I remember like doing weird things, you know, as far as rubbing on my body and things like that, and playing house. Y'all know. And I used to get my butt tore up anytime that we had got caught or I got caught or whatever. And I mean tore up. And me being such a small child with a completely underdeveloped frontal lobe, there was no responsible adult in my life explaining to me what was happening to my body, why I was feeling certain type of things going on, you know, with my genital area. I felt ashamed. I couldn't talk to my parents. One parent was always out the door, coming and going as they pleased. The other parent was a drug addict, you know, never really coherent. Couldn't get this person to understand, you know, they were already battling with their own demons. And so here I am, this small child fending for herself. I had been fending for myself from a very young age. And as I got older, this demon that had attached itself to me grew stronger and became stronger. Okay. I found myself as a really young adolescent teenage girl with an absentee father figure who was in and out, in and out, in and out, never really had the time to just stop and talk to me as a father should talk to his young daughter and set a boundary between men and children. Okay? So, at a very young age, I was a very beautiful young lady, and I attracted the attention of predators. That is just what they were, predators. Any older man that seeks after a child under the age of 18 years old is a predator. There is no other way around it. There is no other word for it. What could a grown man possibly want from a child? And these men knew how old I was because I always said how old I was. But my body looked like a grown woman. I was built like a woman, not a child. So these men targeted me and they chose to use me and abuse me and manipulate me. They thought in their minds, oh, well, she doesn't have a father. She has no covering. See, the enemy tried to block my glory all those years ago, before I could even get started good, to receive the man that the Lord had for me. Understand? The enemy tried to steal my star all those years ago before I could even get started good in being a person first in the world. You know, I became a mother at a young age. I wasn't a child. I was an adult when I first became a mother. I was 20 years old. But the point of the matter is, I was a young girl, and these men knew that I was a kid, and instead of them speaking to me or trying to set me straight or driving me home, like, oh, you know, get your butt in this car, I'm about to take you to your mama, or something. There was no man around me that didn't look at me for sexual desire. So, upon me being out there and unaware of what's going on, my frontal lobe was not developed. I was looking for love in these men because my father wasn't around to give me the proper love that a father's supposed to give his daughter. I was looking for love with these different kinds of loose women all around me because my mother was on crack cocaine. She was not any type of woman that I would look at in a positive light. In fact, I grew up with no respect for my mother. I grew up with no respect for my father. Absolutely none. Okay, and upon me being out there, I had no idea of what was to come for me. But I was raped on more than one occasion being out there, thinking that I knew it all. You know, and what I'm talking about now is by this time, I'm like 16, 17, probably even 15. By this time, I'm way experienced, more than I should have ever been exposed to any type of anything. I was very naive, very innocent, very just unknowing of anything. Okay. I had no idea that I was going to be introduced to a world of rape and, you know, being drugged so that I could be taken advantage of and things like that. And some of these people, I knew these people. I trusted some of these people that did this to me. I had a really toxic ex. I mean, I wouldn't even call this person my ex because this person never included me into their life. This person did not have me around family gatherings. This person didn't introduce me to, you know, his mother or father or family. This person just saw me and saw an opportunity to take full advantage of me. And for years and years and years and years on end, this person manipulated me every chance they could get. This person never once tried to speak any sense into me. This person constantly abused me in any way that they saw fit. This person has taken from me. This person has put me in harm's way, has put me in hard times. This person has done a lot of things to me. And this was a person that the enemy has sent on my path to detour me, to kill, steal, and destroy anything in me, any hope that I had left, any faith that I had left to survive or be a survivor. You know, for years on end, this person would tell me literally to my face that basically I was unworthy, basically of love. I was unworthy of being being like how do you say, for when a man shows off women that he's proud of, that he loves, and takes her in public and gives her the world and lets the world know that this is my woman, my girl. You know, this person did not say or do anything of the such, because this person knew that they were older, and I mean much older than I was, while all the while lying to me, telling me one thing, and me being naive and gullible and not knowing anything about men, because I never learned about men. I never had a positive role model to teach me about men. So I didn't know nothing about men. I just thought they just want to have sex. So, okay, right? I grew up believing that I didn't deserve love, that I only deserved to be used and abused like that, which formed in me a corrupted way of thinking. I was acting like someone that I should have never been, someone that God did not intend for me to be. And so, anyhow, this person made me a mother. And I love all my kids, I do. But if I could go back, now that I know the things that I know, I would go back and I would have came in the house when my mother yelled for me. I would have went to school and been in every class instead of, ditching with the wrong crowd or getting caught up with the wrong people and being easily influenced, you know. So upon me having my child for years and years on end, this person would not tell me anything about themselves, who they were, nothing. It took me a very long time to find out what this person's name even was. I was very embarrassed, very ashamed. Not of myself, oh no, of this person, because they knew better. They knew better so good that they hid their entire identity from me. And I never knew ever that I would find the strength to leave this person alone, because this person was feeding the demon that I so badly connected with, learned to grow to love and appreciate, because I figured, well, if I allow this, then that means I'm being loved, because at least I'm getting a little love somewhere. I didn't know what was going on with me spiritually, but physically, I knew that I didn't want to be where I was standing. And I knew I had to get out. I knew that I had to change something. I knew that something had to be better than this. I knew that something had to come from all this hurt and pain and suffering and trauma that I had received and endured and allowed. There had to have been something beautiful to come out of me being unaware and naive and gullible and young and stupid and a kid. And there was. there was light. There was a big light at the end of my tunnel. And God saved me. He saved me. I knew that this person wanted to do me harm. And before, I used to always want to be around this person, but I knew in the spirit that this person wanted to do me harm. And before, I never could see it because I was entertaining this demon. I was all for it. I was gung ho. I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go ahead. Let's do this thing, you know. But then I quickly realized that it wasn't correct. So God set me on the path that was correct, and He saved me. The minute I felt a shift, the minute I felt the slightest bit of change in the way that I felt for this person felt it too, because in the spirit, this person came to me on multiple occasions trying to harm me and hurt me. And I saw this person. It's like God showed me who this person was for who he really was. He let me see this person in the light of day. I could see this person's horns. I could see who he was. And he was the devil himself. I was sleeping with the devil himself, you guys, and I became afraid. I became terrified. It's like no matter where I went, no matter what I did, no matter how I tried to surround myself with people that were safe of the church and God and all that, I felt so closed in by this person. I felt like I could not escape this person. This person began to stalk me and obsess over me, and they just couldn't understand the fact that how one day I woke up and decided I didn't want to engage in demonic sexual encounters anymore. This person couldn't understand for the life of them that how one day I could get up and say enough was enough. I made a change in my life. I'm done with the devil. This person still doesn't understand to this day why I don't want them. But this person doesn't understand that the demons they carry are demons that I should have never in my life been subjected to. But unfortunately, life be life and life be happening for real to people. And it definitely happened to me. But I've been released because I've been bought with a price. Okay? I have surrendered my life back to the Lord. I have surrendered my innocence back to God. For as long as I've been sober is as long as I've been celibate as well. And only God gets the glory for that. I have been delivered from this sex demon. I have been delivered from this alcoholism demon. And God has got me on a path to the straight and narrow. Of course, there's still a bunch of other little small things going on, but those were like the two biggest things in my life that were killing me slowly. And it's by the grace of God that I'm a healthy woman. It's by the grace of God that I was smart enough to be safe with all these different types of random hookups and just being here, there with anybody that I wish I could go back. I really wish that I could, because I would change so many things. I would change so many things. I probably would have dressed more like a child my age, you know. I probably would have asked my dad for advice to talk to me. You know what I mean? And for definitely sure, there wouldn't have been no children. There wouldn't have been any kids anywhere. But it is what it is. All I can say now is that I'm happy and I'm free and I'm safe. My children are happy, they're free, and they're safe. And upon coming to a place of healing, I encountered two sets of different types of heartbreaks. One that literally almost killed me, literally. And the other one that literally almost killed my faith permanently. But during these tests, trials, and tribulations, amen, God revealed to me some beautiful things in the middle of the storm that I was in, the storm that I had created. See, in the Bible it says, "My people will perish for a lack of knowledge." That was so true. I was perishing because I didn't understand. I did not know what the Lord was trying to tell me, what He was trying to show me, where He was leading me. I didn't understand to pay attention to my dreams. I didn't understand to use my discernment or common sense because I had none. I was a child. And so all the things that I picked up, like some of the intelligence and knowledge that I picked up by paying attention to people, men, how I was being treated, how I was being embarrassed, how I was being judged, how I was being ridiculed, how I was being manipulated, how I was being sought after and targeted, how I was being attacked. I picked up all these intelligent cues in my brain of what not to do and the smart things to do in a situation because of how people mistreated me, knowingly knowing that I truly was and am still a very kind hearted, genuine person. People played and still try to play with my kindness and my weaknesses. The only difference between now and then is that then I was a child. Now I'm not. And now you ain't finna play with me. I'm not gonna allow you to. Not if God has anything to do with it. And so, as far as these heartbreaks are concerned, one of them had to do with my children. I opened my home to this man that I thought was good for me and my kids. Everything was beautiful at first until it wasn't. Upon ending, I wanted to get out of this relationship because I quickly realized that this is just more of abuse. This is more of what I don't want. I recognized it quickly. And me trying to leave and escape. Yeah, I tried to leave. I tried to run. I tried to escape from this toxic, abusive relationship. I tried to take the kid and run. I tried to take the kid and run. But I felt bad because, I have a heart. I have a heart. And I decided this ain't right. I'm going to go ahead and stay for the child. Biggest mistake of my life. And so anybody out there that has a child or children by anyone and the other person is toxic or just not anything of your ideal of good, peace, run and don't look back. Don't second guess it. Don't think about it. Don't feel bad. You're going to feel bad if you stay like I did. Because I stayed, I had no idea what was to come. This person beat me while my child was in my arms. This person stood there and had me locked up for 4 days. I never been to jail. I went to jail for 4 days. That's days of me being away from my children, to mother my children, to take care of my children, to protect and cover my children. This demon that I allowed into my world without knowledge or understanding had destroyed my entire foundation and livelihood. Everything that God had blessed me with, this person killed, stealed, and destroyed it. But my God comes that I may have and enjoy life in abundance till the full, until it overflows in the name of Jesus. Even though I couldn't see what was going on, God already knew. And he told me it was something that I prayed for. But in the midst of all my anger, I realized I was dealing with another demon. I was dealing with the demon of anger and rage that only this person could provoke me to healing. This is what God wanted me to heal. All the anger that I have built up, the resentment that I have built up, the rage that I have built up from being sexually assaulted and abused when I was a child. I could not understand how to express my emotions. I could not understand how to release what I was feeling because I was a kid. So all of this rage and anger and resentment and toxicity and bitterness was coming up out of me, oozing out of me like clay. And it was painful to detach my soul from the spirit of anger. It was so painful because I had been living and being accustomed to this anger. I wore it well. I used to go around people and I could not stand for the life of me. I could not understand for the life of me why people didn't want to be around me. Did I say something, do something to offend someone? And I know that I never did. I know that I always was a good friend. I was a good family member. I was a good sibling. I was a good person. Always, even in the middle of my hurt and pain, I always found a way to be kind to others and giving and loving. If I was a bitch or anything else because of that, it was because I was just so fed up with being taken advantage of. And the more and more it happened, the more and more I became aware that this needs to stop now in my life. There needs to be a boundary. There needs to be a line. It needs to stop because I've had enough. Because I know now that I don't deserve this. I started becoming awakened to my worth. I started to become awakened to my higher self, to God. And anyway, this person tried to take everything from me, and God restored it all back to me tenfold. And just right now, in saying that, I'm just now hearing the Lord saying now this person will begin to reap their karma for what they've done to me, to my children. After I've given to this person, I was good to this person. I didn't hold back from this person. This person tried to play me like a fool and they thought that I was stupid. Well, they found out and caught up with the right one. See, because when you're dealing with a chosen child of God, you got to be careful the things you do and the things you say, especially when you're intentionally doing it, when you know right from wrong and you know that you shouldn't be doing it, but you go ahead and take it upon yourself to do it anyway. Joke's on you. The joke is on you. God always gets the glory in the end. And this is what people fail to realize. I never, ever in my life would have sat here and expressed this to anyone because I don't feel like it's anybody's business. But I got a testimony to tell, and this is mine. And if you want to judge me because of it, be careful. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. So be very careful. Judgment. You are not God. Who are you to be judging anyone with all the skeletons and demons in your closet that you're afraid to talk about? Well, I have good news for you, brother and sister, that you don't have to be afraid anymore to speak your truth, to speak your testimony. It's okay to talk about the things that you don't want to talk about. It's okay to release all of that energy that was projected onto you by someone else, through someone else, that is not yours to carry. Cast all of your cares and worries and anxieties onto the Lord, for he cares for you. And that's in Peter, according to the word of God. So I'm going to leave you with this. I say all that to say this. No matter who tries to steal from you or knock you down, you can always get back up. You can. I'm living proof of that. I've been knocked down so many times by people. I've always been the crab in the bucket to get out because I refuse to give up on myself. I refuse to give up for the people that I love and care about. I refuse to give up on my bloodline. I refuse to give up on my children. I refuse to give up on the relationships between my children and their fathers. I refuse to give up for myself. I just refuse to do it. It's very hard. It's very difficult. Very. I'm exhausted, y'all. But I ain't tired yet. I'm exhausted, but I ain't tired. If you're tired, you're ready to die. And if you die, you ain't coming back. And if you're exhausted, you can go rest and you can live to fight another day, right? And what they didn't know is that I've been a fighter since the womb. I was born premature. Doctors told my mother that I was not going to make it, that she would be leaving the hospital without a baby because I was meant to die in that hospital. Or was I? There's room for me in this world. There's a place for me here. There's a reason why God kept me. I'm supposed to be here. So if you have any thoughts of coming towards me to do me harm or injustice, you better think twice, because I will go tell my Father God on you in a heartbeat, and I ain't playing with you. And you're not going to like the wrath that he brings upon you, because I am doing a work for the Lord. And God lives in me, and I will not fail. I don't care how hard you try. I don't care who you send. I won't fail. I said who you send. I meant to say I don't care who you send. That was confirmation right there. You know, you could pull out all the stops. I won't fail. Because when God puts a purpose in you, when he has a plan for your life, he's going to see it through. God is going to finish a work. God always finishes what he starts, boo. And there ain't no man, woman, child, demon, anywhere in the physical realm or the spiritual realm that can stop a person from fulfilling the will of God. Only his hand matters. Only his movement matters. So I encourage you guys to get out there and tell your testimonies, your stories, so that God can bless you in the new season. So God can open up the floodgates and the doors for you in the next chapter of your life. Because where God is taking us is much more than where we are now. He wishes to give you a life of abundance and freedom and joy and happiness, the fruits of the Spirit. You can find that in Ephesians, okay? Or Galatians, sorry. But you've got to be willing to open up. You've got to be willing to heal. You've got to be willing to get out of your own way and stop thinking that people are trying to judge you and put you down and make fun of you and talk about you. Look, let them talk about you. Let them make fun of you. Let them. I do. I don't even care. You know why? Because I know who's bigger. God. God is the creator. God is the Alpha and the Omega. God is the one that is the Lord of Lords and the Kings of Kings. Only his opinion of you should matter. Let me ask you this before I go. Would you rather God be ashamed of you, or a person? Another natural human being just like yourself that's all jacked up and raggedy on the inside. Would you rather God love you, or another filthy, unclean human being that needs to get baptized, that needs to get saved, that needs to get delivered from the works of the devil? That's all I'm going to say. So, with that being said, that's all I have right now for you guys. If God moves me or encourages me to speak about something else that I may have forgotten to mention, hopefully this resonated with somebody out there who has a testimony, who's probably afraid to speak up. You don't need to be afraid to speak up. There's no devil in hell that can make you do anything. God is more powerful than the enemy, and he's already won. Stop giving the devil the power. Stop giving him that energy. Stop giving him that clout, because he ain't nothing. He don't have no power or authority. None. Okay? And I wish you all a beautiful morning. I hope that this, motivated your day to go out there and tell somebody your testimony. Speak up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. If you're a parent, you always standing up for your kids. Stand up for yourself too. Speak up for yourself as well. because on the inside of you, you still have a, a traumatized little boy or a little girl still inside there, terrified, running around in the dark, screaming for his mom and dad, like, please help me, I need help. You're the only one that can save him or her. So I encourage you to go within and do some deep childhood trauma wound healing on yourself. Allow things from the past to come up and dredge up. Deal with it. Look at it. Heal it. And give it to the Lord. And just let it go. And forgive. Demons are granted access to torment you because of unforgiveness. Don't let it be you.